Good morning, everybody. My name is Paul K. Lemire. This is your city, excuse me, your voice coming to you live from the studios of Video Sign Incorporated. Thank you for tuning in this morning, and we got lots to get to, a lot of stuff going on. But the weird thing is that every Thursday it snows. And here we are again, and I'm looking outside, and it's snowing like crazy. There's no way I'm going anywhere except outside to snowblow it today. And this is probably the fourth Thursday in a row I've had to do the show from home here, the home studio, Video Sign Incorporated, with my cat Sylvester, my flowers, and this book, The Making of the President 2016 by Roger Stone. A great book if you haven't read it. It was about the election of Trump, the making of the president. And here we are again with him winning again in 2022. Sorry, 2024. Oh, I get the dates mixed up. It's so confusing, right? But anyway, we look out at the weather here, and I'm not going to the studio this morning. And it's the white Christmas syndrome out here. I'm telling you, it's crazy. And we're going to see white for a long time because we're in a deep freeze until the beginning of March. And none of this white stuff is going anywhere. And as a matter of fact, I would love to go out there and shovel the snow. It's all fluffy. There's nowhere to put it. I'm done. I've got a 7-foot mountain over here, 7-foot mountain on the front. That's all I got to go down and out in the lawn, I guess. That's why I'm using the snowblower, because I don't mind shoveling. I like shoveling, actually. But nothing's going on until March now. It looks like in March 5th, it says it's going to go up to about 45 degrees. That's when we're going to see some melt over here. Until then, forget about it. We're not going to see nothing over here. So before we get to the show, because we have lots to talk about, there's lots going on, viewer comments and everything. Let's talk about my sponsors, Wild Bill's Auto Repair and Body Shop, Pete's Pizza on Victoria Avenue, and Hamill Machine Company. So yesterday was a nice day. I was in the studio and I said, get your card checked out because we're getting more. And here we are. It looks to me like there's 4 inches on the ground right now. So it's not over yet. You got to get your car into Wild Bill's. Get them to check out your car. It's 20 degrees out there. Batteries get hammered. Your suspension gets hammered in this weather. You need to have your car checked out and make sure it's running great so you don't break down. That's the last thing you want, is to break down. So we'll go to Wild Bill's. He's going to throw your car on his equipment. Check it out. Error codes are going to be fixed. You're going to be back on the road. You're going to be happy motoring, and everything's going to be fine. Wild Bill's Auto Repair and Body Shop on Oakwood Drive by the Kia dealership. You can't go wrong. And if in this weather you happen to get in a fender bender, don't worry. Wild Bill has a full body shop. He's going to bring your car in, fix it, get it out in showroom condition. You can't go wrong. And all I can say is support our sponsors because they support us and they support the city. And at the end of the day, we appreciate you supporting our sponsors. Thank you very much for doing that. Now, I also would like to say subscribe. If you're watching this video, go down here. Boom, boom, bang, bang. There's a subscribe button. Hit it. Knock it down. Hit the notification button. Give us a thumbs up. Give us a thumbs down. That happens too. Or leave a comment. We like to see people involved. We want to see people involved and get involved with the city and what's going on with the city and get out there and do your thing. Okay, let's go to viewer comments first. Nat 881 Slick. You're far from old, my friend. I just don't want anyone to get hurt. I always have your back. And what he was talking about was last time I was in the Video Sign Incorporated studio is because everything was ice. And I wasn't going out there and falling down and getting injured. That's all I need. Because I said, because I'm old. And he says, you're not old. And I was just warning you so you didn't get injured. Thank you very much, Gary. So nice comment. But this old guy doesn't want to slip and fall and injure his back or hip or anything. At Dave Wheeler, 1158. This is a good comment. Mixed messaging. Get out to vote, but it doesn't matter who you vote for because Diodaddy is king. You need to vote, but in this case, it's pointless to vote. And Dave, that's a great observation. It really, really is. And it is kind of mixed messaging because I have mixed feelings about this election. How can I vote for somebody that I think is incompetent, that can't do the job, that I don't want to represent the Niagara Falls riding? But yet she's a candidate for the party that I want to support. So what do? Hold my nose and make the vote? I just can't do that. That's not the way I vote. I vote for people I think are competent. And this takes me to the parliamentary system where I can't vote for the premier. I have to vote for the rep they pick here. And in this case, the person wasn't even nominated. There wasn't a nomination process where PC party members voted for who they thought would be best. So I can't even have a choice. They're telling me you have to vote for this person, and I don't want to. I don't want to. I've seen their record. So am I sending mixed messages? Yes. I mean, the only thing I can say, if I did vote that way, is that this person wouldn't be on city council anymore. She'd be gone, which is fine by me. And also, I would be getting a vote in for Ford. And I'm not even that hot on him. He's done a lot of crappy stuff, liberal stuff that I didn't like, especially during COVID. That wasn't a great time for me or anybody who never got vaccinated like me. And these guys were the ones who were dropping down the mandates, firing people, firing nurses, wouldn't let people in restaurants, and all the other crap that went on. And when it all turned out to be a hoax at the end of the day anyway, yeah, they made a lot of people suffer with their jobs and everything. So I'm not even that hot on him, but he's better than the alternatives, which are NDP, Liberal, and Green. Basically, I mean, you have your New Blue Party and that kind of thing, but they're not going to get in anyway. So yeah, do I have mixed feelings about it? You're absolutely right. And the mixed message is there as well, because at the end of the day, we know that Ford himself said Jim Diodati is the real MPP of Niagara. So there you go. We know who's getting the who's getting the ear of the premier and getting things done. It isn't Wayne Gates. It's Jim Diodati. So there's another mixed emotion because no matter who I vote for, Diodati is going to be the guy anyway, so I can feel good voting for anybody. So what do I do here? Do I not vote for the PC candidate because I don't think she's competent? Do I vote for her and hold my nose because it's going to be Ford and Diodati's running it anyway? So yeah, Dave, you're right. You're right. That is a mixed message. Try to figure it out. I don't care who anybody votes for. You vote for whoever you want. The only thing that makes sense with that is that you have to vote where your heart is. And Sylvester, is that you? And if that's where your heart is, the PC party, regardless, vote for them. Vote for the party. I don't like voting for the party. I like voting for the person. I don't care about their party as much as if they care about the residents of Niagara and that. So does that mean you shouldn't vote? No, get out and vote. Pick somebody. I'm going to go out and vote. I'm voting for somebody, and it's going to take me a little while to figure it all out. Today's what, the 20th, I think? I think today's the 20th, so I got 7 days to figure it all out. I got a week. But I will get out and vote. I am voting. But you're right, Dave. I have mixed feelings on this, and I'm sending mixed messages for the simple reason I can't even decide who I'm going to vote for right now. I may vote PC. I may hold my nose on this one and say Jimmy's going to do it anyway, so I can vote for that way. But man, oh man, that goes against everything I believe in. I understand we need a party representative in Niagara Falls that represents the party in power. I get that. I've been preaching that for years. But when they send an acclaimed, an appointed nominee, an appointed candidate who nobody got to vote on, and who has shown no competency on city council, how can I send a vote for that person? That just goes against everything I believe in. So yeah, you're right, Dave. Good comment. Very good comment. Thank you so much. So staying on the subject of the provincial election next week, I'm getting trounced on Facebook. Oh yeah. People are totally hammering me on Facebook. Why? I'm such a nice guy. Well, because I appear to be slagging, and that's the term somebody used, Ruth Ann Newesday. Well, I'm speaking the truth from my perspective. I'm not slagging anybody. I'm just speaking the truth about one candidate. And I've said this the same about Wayne Gates being useless for years. I mean, when we talk about Wayne Gates, the same person who said I was slagging Ruth Ann Newesday, it's kind of a hypocrite. It's no problem me slagging Wayne Gates, which I've been doing for years. The Cheeto Bandito, the Frito Bandito. He's accomplished nothing. He's a do nothing. I mean, I've said it all. I've said it all about him. But that's okay until you get to the party that some of these people like. And then you're slagging. I'm not slagging anybody. I'm just telling it like it is. Right? If I don't believe a candidate is a good choice to send to Queen's Park, I just don't believe a candidate is a good choice to send to Queen's Park. I'm being honest. I'm not being a hypocrite about it. I'm not going to pump somebody up who I don't think is competent. That'd be insane. Just like I haven't pumped up Wayne Gates over the years. Right? So I'm sticking true to what I believe and what I think and what I speak. I'm speaking exactly what I think. I'm not pulling any punches, and I'm not staying away because it's one party or the other. If it's a bad candidate, it's a bad candidate. Sorry, that's the way I do things. And because of her performance on city council, and because she wasn't nominated through a normal party nomination process, she was just appointed like the Kamala Harris of Niagara Falls that she is. I think I have the right to say that. And if anybody can prove me wrong, go ahead. She's raised taxes on us 3 times. She's wasted tons of time on city council. I don't believe she understands the whole agenda and how it works or what the procedure is. And they're going to send her to Queen's Park? Well, if you want to, go ahead. I don't care. Either way. But I have to do what I think. So if you call it slagging, well, that's it. And they think that I'm endorsing Gates. By slagging her, I'm endorsing Gates. I'm not endorsing Gates. I've never voted for Gates. I will never vote NDP or Liberal. Never. So no, I'm not endorsing Gates, and I'm not saying Gates is the better choice. I will give Gates credit where credit is due, and the credit comes with experience. He's been there long enough. He knows the ropes. He knows how it works. Can he get anything done? No, he's not the party of power. So he's not going to do anything. But he does return calls. He does help people, and people love him. What can I tell you? That's the way it is. Vote for him if you like him like that. If you like that. But as far as getting anything done, I mean, I read his card out. I did a review of him, and you saw what I said. And as far as the Liberal candidate goes, I just reviewed her. I think yesterday I talked about her. There's no way in hell I'm going to vote for somebody who parachutes in from the Liberals, tax and spend Liberals, especially one that isn't from town and has no clue of what's going on in Niagara Falls. I can't give her my vote no matter what. And if anybody does, well, that's because they're a diehard Liberal, and or they're looking at DEI or some crazy thing like that. Because you can't just parachute somebody into our Niagara Falls riding and expect her to understand the nuances of Niagara Falls. I mean, come on, Ruth Ann and Dumiel and Burdette and Gates, they know way more about this area than her. They've lived here all their life. Come on, I know more than her. You can't just parachute in and decide you're going to run everything. I mean, it doesn't matter because I'm in Ontario. Well, okay, great. How about grabbing the guy from Kingston or Millhaven and making him? He's from Ontario too. Come on. You got to know the area. So I've talked about the Liberal, I've talked about the NDP, and I've talked about the Conservative candidate already. 3 up, 3 down. Who's next? Well, let's take a look at the candidate for the Green Party, Celia Taylor. Celia Taylor. Now, I couldn't find a flyer like I had for Gates and New Estate from her, so they may be out there. I never saw one, and I never got one. So we have to go to her website to get some insight on what she believes. And other than her biography, there are really no opinions or arguments against other candidates, what they've done. There's no accomplishments, nothing other than the Green Platform, which you can read on the website. Go to her website, CeliaTaylor.com or whatever it is, or the Green Party website. And you'll see her listed as a representative for Niagara. And I can just tell you what I found out about her. She's the owner of PDH Legal, community advocate and dedicated environmentalist. So if you love the carbon tax, if you love the Paris Accord, if you love blaming everything on climate change, and probably Trump, well, then you probably love Celia Taylor. BA in political science, create a better Niagara, one that prioritizes environmental protection, equitable access to justice, and sustainable development. So, i.e., let's just translate that, climate change, DEI, and sustainable development, whatever that is. But at the end of the day, they're going to be protecting everything. You're not going to build anything. You're not going to erect anything. The spotted toad has more importance than anything. Other than that, there isn't much there. And like the PC candidate, she refused the chance to debate, so we really don't get a flavor or don't get a knowledge of what she thinks about anything. So if you're an environmental warrior, this could be your candidate. I wish I could tell you more, but there isn't much more to say. Sorry. I'm just going by the website. It's not there. We don't get any opinions. It's kind of like Ruth Ann. We have no opinions on anything other than the PC platform, what they've given her. And until she gets there and does a one-on-one presser and answers some tough questions, like about the Greenbelt scandal and like about this new highway, widening the QEW, the new highway, taking tolls off 407, all these things that people are saying they want to do, the tunnel under the 401 in Mississauga, wherever the hell he wants to do it for. So we get her view on that, putting the Skyway, what she's going to do for Niagara. I mean, there's a lot of questions for all these people, not just for Ruth Ann New Estate. But I don't know why they don't put their own opinions on their card. Like Wayne Gates has his opinions on there. He's told you what he's done while he's been up there. Whether he got anything accomplished or not, what he has on his card is true. He did ask the questions, and was up there yelling and screaming and fighting. Ooh, so, but nothing like that with these guys. I mean, does she know what the people in Niagara Falls want? I know the Liberal candidate has no clue. And the PC candidate knows but never votes in the people's best interest. From what I can see, she's raised taxes 3 times and gave us the only 8 statement. The NDP candidate has no say regardless of whether he knows what people want. No power, no results. So all I can tell you, there's 4 of the candidates, and I got 2 more to do. Go to their website. Check out what they have to say. What you're going to see is the party platform on most of them, except for Wayne Gates. He'll tell you what he's done because he does have experience. He's been there for 12 years or 13 years now. So he's going to give you what he did fight for in that. Did he accomplish anything? No, but he did fight for it. What he says is true on there. And I'm not endorsing Wayne Gates. I wouldn't vote for Wayne Gates if he was the last guy. I don't vote NDP. The Cheeto Bandito's not getting my vote. Never has, never will, and neither will the Liberals. So I'm not endorsing anybody. I'm just telling you what I see in my my view on it. And I wish they would get out and give us their opinions more and do these debates. At least you get a flavor for Shafoli Kapoor. I mean, you get a flavor for her. You can see what she talks about and that kind of thing. At least there's something there, although I don't agree with anything she said. There's something there, though. So in this election, we really don't have a choice in a bid to send an excellent candidate to Queen's Park, someone that has a grasp on local issues and can be a good representative for the city. So what do? Take your pick. Take your pick, but thank God we have Jim Diodati here at least to smooth over any pick that we send that may not be the best pick. So don't worry. I'm going to be looking at the New Blue Party and the independent candidate in the next couple days. It won't be Monday because I've got city council agenda with Dave Wheeler, hopefully if he comes in. If not, I'll be doing it myself. But it doesn't matter. Either way, I'll get through it. And so we won't be able to talk about the candidates. We're going to talk about the city council meeting. So it'll be Tuesday on Trash Talking Tuesday. I'll talk about the New Blue Party, and then we'll go to the independent candidate who I know he's been on my show and is a smart guy and everything else. So I'll probably have good things to say about him. I know it's tough because funding a campaign is not cheap. You see what these mooks are doing. They got these friggin' big offices and they love to spend money. You got the big offices and all the flyers and signs all over town. Independent candidates just don't have that money to spend. And they're not as familiar maybe as these other ones. And it's tougher to get familiar when you don't have the money to spend on all the swag. So we'll talk about that on Tuesday. Let's go over to my second sponsor, Pete's Pizza on Victoria Avenue. And if you want a great pizza, check out Pete's Pizza on Victoria Avenue. They're great guys there. They make a good pizza. They use the Mancini family recipe for the sauce and that. And right now they're running a special, $20 for a tray of pizza with 3 items through February, the end of February. How can you beat that? And I believe it's the Wednesday special or one of those specials during the week. You can't beat it. Great price for a tray of pizza, and it's good. I always ask them to cook it a little bit more because a lot of times they don't cook trays perfect. And that's no matter where you go. So I always say, make it well done. That's just my preference, right? But they use the Mancini family and recipe, and it's been around for 40 years. They've started Pete's Pizza in St. Catharines 40 years ago. And Mike knows how to blend it. He uses quality ingredients, Saputo mozzarella mixed with brick cheese for the cheese, which makes it fantastic. And I usually like the Canadian with the pepperoni and the bacon crumble and mushrooms. Perfect pizza for me. That's the one I like. But they have all toppings you could imagine. But they're not a one-trick pony. Their wings are excellent. You like pizza and wings, try their wings. They're fantastic, done right. They have steak and cheese poutine, all kinds of poutine. They have everything over there. So don't worry about it. You're going to find something on the menu you like. Open till 2 in the morning, Friday and Saturday for your convenience. Pete's Pizza, Victoria Avenue. Give them a call today, 905-374-2222, or order online, petespizza.victoria.ca, and you get a nice, fresh, hot pizza to your house, hot and ready. It's beautiful pizza, and you're going to thank me. Believe me, you can thank me later for this advice. And of course, support our sponsors because they support the show, and subscribe to the channel. Come on, subscribe. Now, I've been called a racist so many times since Trump took over. The first time around and now the second time around. And that seems to be the left's favorite word for anyone that doesn't agree with them. Their DIE or DEI view of the world. If you don't agree with that, you're a racist. And if you're not a racist, they don't call you that. They're going to call you a transphobe, a homophobe, Islamophobe, homophobe, phobophobe. They're wacky, and they describe me with a lot of different things. So check this out: with the car thefts and smash and grab robberies, right around here, a person pointing a gun at another person on the QEW, and most robberies, stabbings, and shootings. I immediately tell people to go to Bramaladesh or TDOT and round up the usual suspects. And of course, as soon as I say that, I get called a racist. And I don't make up the statistics, right? I'm just telling you where to go. I'm not the one causing the problems. It's the criminals that are. It's that trash coming down the QEW from Toronto to rape and pillage in the Niagara region in Hamilton. So they just arrested a bunch of people in this carjacking, car theft ring, right? And, remember, I'm a racist. I'm a racist because I said go to Bramladesh and round them up, around the usual suspects up in Toronto, Mississauga, wherever. I'm a racist. So they just arrested a bunch of people, 28 people or something, and they got the names of the main perpetrators here. So let me read them off to you because I'm a racist. Didar Kader, Hassanin Mosa, Bashar Kader, Faris Al Hakim, Durgam Al Hilo, and Hussan Suleiman. Arrested and charged with a list of charges as long as your arm. Car theft, this, armed robbery, but. I rest my case. Now, quit calling me a racist, everybody. I'm not a racist. I'm telling you what I see. And what my thing is either deport these criminals if they're not from here, or lock them up for good. And I don't care if they're white, black, red, or yellow. Lock them up for good. The courts have to get tougher if they want to stop this stuff. And the liberal courts and judges in Ontario are going to set them free on a $25 bail, and they're going to release them. Or just tell them, listen, do you promise not to cause any more trouble until you come back to court? Oh, yes, I do. Okay, you can go. Be a good boy. So that's my whole thing here. My whole thing here is lock them up. I don't care about promising to be good or $25 bails. $1 million bail, they can't put it up, lock them up, or deport them, even better. Pull their passports or their visas or whatever they got and deport them. And unless the judges and courts apply the maximum sentences to these criminals or deport them, depending on their citizenship status, they're not going to stop this kind of crime. I mean, it pays well if you don't want to worry about sentences that are a joke. Sure, go out, steal cars, get paid $5,000 a car or whatever they get paid. Put them in containers, ship them overseas. Crime pays when judges and courts don't give you maximum sentences. They just go through the turnstile in the court, wave at the cop on the way in the court, out the turnstile on the street, and laugh at the cop on the way out. That's what they do. They know they're not going to get hammered, so they just make a joke of it. It's a mockery, and then they're stealing cars again. They go right to downtown Toronto or come to the Niagara region, do it all again. Never ends. It's never going to end until the punishment exceeds the crime. The punishment has to exceed the rewards. Easy to deal with, and that's what they did in New York City. Rudy Giuliani, he just used RICO to hammer these guys. If you got caught with selling heroin, you got 25 years. So you got a guy 45 years old. He ain't coming out till he's 70. His kids are going to be married, gone to school. He's not going to see anybody for 25 years. So what do? They roll. And when they roll, what do? They give up the big guys, the guys who are really in charge, not these chumps that go around stealing cars on the street. They're nothing. It's the people who are paying them and taking the cars and shipping them you want to catch. So you want to catch them. You got to keep these guys locked up for a long time and make them a deal. You're going to be here till you're old and gray, right? So you either can cooperate with us, maybe give us a couple names, or have a good time with Bubba. Either way, your choice. Do it the hard way. Do it the easy way. Give us a couple people and we'll put you in the witness protection program, give you a lenient sentence, or or just get you the hell out of the country where you may be safe. So easy peasy to deal with if they want to, but until we get rid of these liberal courts and judges, we're not getting rid of anything. Crime is going to run rampant. They're going to come down here shooting and knifing and stabbing and robbing and stealing. Yep, it's not going to end. So there you go. I'm a racist. There's all the names that they caught. Told you so. No, I shouldn't say that. But I did. Okay. Now, see, we have Doge operating in the United States. Musk is cleaning up. Musk and his crew are cleaning up. They're not fooling around over there. They're not fooling around. So what do we need? We need Doge in Canada. But the good thing is people are starting to pick up on this government waste. And they're really starting to get on it. And what they found are these spins from Trudeau's administration. Let me read these off to you. These are the money we've given over the last year or so. Hamas and the Palestinian Authority, $351 million. Pakistan, $2 billion. Libya, $1.45 billion. Egypt, $397 million. Jordan, $463 million. Sudan, $870 million. Congo, $359 million. Kazakhstan, $304 million. And Iraq, $1.08 billion with a B. And we gave $3 million to stop open defecation in Nigeria. People poop indoors. We're going to teach them to poop indoors, not on the street. Here's $3 million to help. This is what you're getting. And there's more of these wasteful spends to come. I guarantee it. Thanks, Elon. People are following your lead. And I'm going to tell you right now, that we're going to find a lot. And if we had somebody seriously looking into this, this is just peripheral stuff that you can pick off the internet easy. And excuse me if I have the notion that a lot of these countries are terrorist countries. So why are we giving them $7 billion of taxpayer dollars? For what? For what? This is why we need our own Doge. Now, Elon just found 394 million people collecting Social Security. There are only 342 million people in the United States. So where's the rest of this money going? They don't know. So they're going to track it down and find out why people 150 years old are getting Social Security. And there's even one guy 300 years old. Now, that's not to say all these people are getting paid money. They might not be, but they're down on the list of people who are on Social Security. Either way, if they haven't been keeping up the records, that's just as bad, because I'm guaranteeing you millions of these people are getting checks. People whose parents have died, they still get the checks and never reported it. It never got entered into the system, whatever system they're using. I mean, they have to get rid of people. They got to run down a salt mine or something, a mine shaft. They got to go down. They can only lay off or retire 10,000 people a year, because that's all they have the capability of, having to go down and do the paperwork and come back up. It's ridiculous. And don't think we don't have this stuff going on in Canada neither. I mean, we've talked about OHIP being abused for years. People who are not from this country getting medical treatment. That's why they've tightened up on it over the years. And I don't think we can say that Trudeau and his cronies have been honest, and neither have a lot of people over the last 30 years, not just Trudeau and his bunch. So it's time we did this. It's time that we did this. We need a deep dive. And I'm not talking about just the federal government. I'm talking provincially, and I'm talking regionally and municipally. The whole bunch. We're just as bad. We've got a lot of waste here. I've picked out some stuff already that I think we can cancel. And I have some ideas that I'm going to talk about tomorrow. And are they going to happen? Probably not, because I don't see any city councilors ever even talking about this. None of them look into this. Lori Lococo being the only one that probably has an idea of government waste and where to cut it, but she gets voted down every time by the rest of them. So until we get serious, I mean, if I was mayor, the first thing I would do is bring in a Doge. I would bring in one guy who knows how to read a ledger and can go through every department. And believe me, I would start getting rid of people in this city. There's a lot of waste that we don't know about. Now, of course, it's not going to be like the province or the feds or the region or the United States. I mean, you're not going to save trillions of dollars. You know, we're not going to find entries where $4.7 trillion went that nobody can account for. It's entered in the books. Nobody knows where it went. We're not going to find that kind of abuse, but we are going to find abuse. We are going to find abuse. And I'll talk about some of the things that we can look at tomorrow. So down south, Elon Musk's armies are the Doge army is cleaning house. Well, they found about 20 million people, like I said, collecting Social Security that are not even alive. Uncovered 4.7 trillion of unaccounted spending. The Social Security person has stepped down. She stepped down because they couldn't explain 20 million dead people collecting. The head of FEMA resigned. The Social Security agents see Michelle King has lost her job. She's quit. FEMA guy just resigned. Heads are starting to roll in agencies, and the money trail is pointing to some of the most powerful people in Washington. And if you want to know who's responsible, follow the money. Always follow the money. You see something, follow the money. Who's got the most to gain from this? $4.7 trillion unaccounted for. Where'd that money go? Who has the most to gain from this? What government officials came in broke and now are worth 30 or 40 million? That's probably a good sign of where the money went. And you know, it's funny, as Musk is cleaning house, I think 75,000 people have taken the deal in Washington to get the hell out before they get fired. The real estate market in Washington is exploding, with over 11 houses going up for sale in the last 4 weeks since Trump took over. The left's trying to make the case about personal private information and Musk security clearance. I said it before. Listen, Musk was head of PayPal. He had your information. Anybody who used PayPal, any business who uses PayPal, which is millions of Americans, he already had your information. He didn't rip you off. He's not going to rip you off. The guy's worth $500 billion. And as far as the security clearance goes, do you think he's just shooting off rockets at Cape Canaveral and in Texas and with NASA? And NASA's asking him to go up and save the astronauts up there who can't get home. Do you think he don't have the top security and clearance to do this? Come on. This is just distraction and obstruction. That's all it is. Trying to obstruct him and distract you. Get you're up in the back and get you out to these protests, which are useless. They're not going to work. Because the American people gave them the majority. They gave them a mandate to go and clean house. Trump stood right there with Musk, like I'm standing with Sylvester here, and told you what he's going to do. I'm getting Elon to go in and clean up. And they voted for him. So all this security crap and everything else is just obstruction. That's all it is. Distraction. They want to keep your minds off the trillions that are missing. And you wonder why your taxes are high? When they're stealing from you every day, a billions a day, what do you expect? And don't worry, all these other agencies, NASA and everybody, are going to be looked at closer. You've been ripped off, Americans. Your money's been stolen by these swamp creatures. Now they know it wasn't rumor. It's true, and they're going to straighten it all out. Oh, and you imagine, I just can't even imagine this. People protesting Trump and Musk because he's saving them money. He's finding out about fraud and abuse. How can people be mad at that? You've been being ripped off for years and you're mad because somebody is finding and stopping you from getting ripped off? How can you be mad at that? How can you cry foul? But I mean, they keep on pushing the rhetoric. Trump is not thanked. Musk is not security cleared. His 19-year-old kids are not security cleared. The one guy just resigned when they came in. He says, I'm not dealing with these people, these kids. Well, yeah, good. Get out of here. But don't leave town because we're going to be looking closer at you too. So I'm telling you, it's all going down. So up next, that Musk is going to be looking at the EPA. They had 20 billion stashed away for what? Environmental Protection Agency, Department of Defense, Social Security. He's on that already. He's going to track down everybody who's getting money. The Pentagon, a lot of waste there. After that plane crashed back in 9/11 there's 3 or 4 trillion missing out of there. They couldn't find it. That was, what's his name, Rumsfeld. Climate change fraud, hundreds of billions wasted. Now, this is an interesting one, and I can't wait to see what happens here. Fort Knox. Where's the gold? Allegedly, the fort is empty. So where'd all the gold go? And Musk is going to find out what the deal is there. He's going in. In case you never saw Goldfinger, Fort Knox is where the U.S. is supposed to keep its gold reserves. Now, inside whistleblowers said that the gold's gone. So now they say they're flying gold over from England every day to put into Fort Knox. So when Musk gets there, there's the gold there. And this isn't just we're not talking just a little bit here. We're talking about 4,580 tons of gold. And the last time anybody looked at it and tried to find it was in 1974. 1974. And Musk said, why isn't it accounted for in stock taken of it every year to make sure it's all there? Nobody's just, grabbing a gold bar and walking out. Like that gold right there is worth almost $500 million. Sorry, $500 billion, 500 billion. So $500 billion of gold. They don't even know if it's there. Listen, remember when I said, if you want to know who's behind anything fishy, follow the money. Well, that's what Musk and company are doing. And there's going to be accountability and there's going to be arrests. The Democrats are watching in horror as their slush funds are canceled. And their radical causes, climate change, transgenderism, open borders, you name it, all these crazy things that they send money to, they're all being destroyed by Doge. And don't think they aren't thinking of maybe doing a stint at Rikers. Every one of these people involved are thinking of getting charged and arrested and sent to prison. Maybe some of the worst ones will go to Gitmo. You never know. Yeah, the war's on. Musk is waging it against fraud and abuse, and it isn't going to end. And all I can hope is that once we elect Poilievre, that he follows the lead of Trump and Elon and gets his own Doge in, and they start going through these programs for Canadians. We already know there's money being sent all over the place. That's got to stop. But we got to hope that they get in and do a deeper dive. And they do the same thing as Elon. Maybe when he's finished with the States, he can come to Canada, help us out. It's coming out of your pocket. Everything we talk about comes out of your pocket. And even in Niagara Falls, everything I talk about comes out of your pocket, the taxpayers. Don't think it doesn't. So we got to get smarter. We got to work better. We got to find out where the waste is and get rid of it. Those days are gone. Those days are gone. Let's get to my third sponsor, Hamel Machine Company. Now, Bob Benner was in the studio, and I was asking him about Hamel Machine Company because I know they're a local company, been here since 1948, have served the industrial base around here. Well, every industry needs a machine shop to take care of things, to make sure that their machines are running right, that everything's running smooth. And a lot of times these machines come from out of the country, and to get parts takes a month, and especially after COVID. They can't wait. They have to have the part so they can get back into production and not lose money. So where do they go? Hamel Machine Company. They do anything. They create parts. They fix parts. They machine parts. They redo parts. They print parts on their 3D printer. They have water jet cutters to cut out parts, cut out components. They do it all. They do it all over there. Big jobs to small for guys like me and you who walk in there and say, geez, Bob, I want us to get some back gates made for my backyard and I can't find any at Home Depot. You think you could design something? Yes, they can do that. They can weld it, they can powder coat it, they can get it all done for you. And if you're nice, they'll help you install. This is the kind of jobs they do. They look at things, they're innovators, they're inventors. They come up with new products for the wine industry around here in their showrooms, build new racks out of aluminum so they don't have to lift the heavy steel racks. They've done it all, right up to agricultural products where they've designed new equipment that will take care of things that they need taken care of, harvesting and that kind of thing for hydroponics. They're unbelievable. Hamel Machine Company. If you need anything done, go down and see the beautiful people at Hamel Machine. They're going to take care of you. And if you're looking for a job, they're always looking for good people, and they will give you a shot. Bob Benner's a great guy. HamelMachine.ca. Go there. Check out the website. See what they've done and what they have to offer. You'll be impressed. And I thank them for supporting the show, and I hope the people in Niagara Falls support Hamel Machine Company. Local since 1948. They support us. You support them. And thank you very much for doing that. Okay, so Canadians have declared February 28th as Retail Blackout Day. Oh, there's my neighbor. He's shoveling out there. I'm going to wave him off and tell him I'm getting the snowblower out. Canadians are asked not to buy or shop at any business that's American-owned. Oh, my goodness. Are you kidding me? They're going to have a day where they're not going to shop and buy anything American-owned. Are these people all a bunch of lagoops? Seriously. Come on. First of all, it's not going to have any effect on U.S. business. One day of you not buying at Walmart doesn't mean anything. And anything that's American made. You go to Home Depot and there's something American made, you don't buy it for one day. You think it's going to affect them? So it's ridiculous. They have a slow day. Whoop-de-doo. So you can go there. February 28th, you can't buy it. March 1st, go ahead, buy it. It's okay. Oh, well, why torture me like this? But what really makes me mad is where were all these so-called patriotic Canadian phonies when the truckers were being arrested, when they were having their bank accounts frozen, and when the PM illegally declared the Emergencies Act to be enforced and started beating down peaceful protesters? Where were all these Canadians backing each other, these patriots? Why weren't they backing the truckers? They were trampling old ladies using walkers with a horse. I mean, where were they standing up for Canadian rights and freedoms? Now all of a sudden they're patriots. Canada, rights and freedoms. We're not buying American. Why weren't they supporting the truckers? Yeah. Where were all these patriots, these Canadian patriots, when the government was forcing people to get an experimental vaccination? The ones that the drug company shed all liability for. and the government gave them the opportunity to do that if things went wrong. Where were the unvaccinated? Why were they not allowed to go into restaurants? Where was that mandate coming from, the Canadian Patriots? They go into restaurants, fly, cross the border, go visit family members in hospitals that were dying. Where were the Canadian Patriots boycotting the government and yelling at the government for these things? It was ridiculous. Couldn't even have people at your house or too many people, or they call the COVID police to come and arrest you. I mean, are you kidding me? Oh, Canadian Patriots, the ones who we are all in this together. We should be standing up for everybody. No, well, you know what they were doing? They sided with the government and their fake health experts like Moore, Fauci, and Tam. Now they're considered criminals for injecting poison to each and every person that held out their arm. And more than once were encouraged to mask up and get boosters, and they forced people under threat of losing their jobs to get vaccinated. Where were all these Canadian patriots then when our rights were being violated? Now they're worried about Trump and tariffs? We are all in this together. Does everybody forget that real quick? Here's my advice. Take your pathetic February 28th retail blackout day and stick it where the sun doesn't shine. Bunch of phonies. You won't see me supporting it. I'll shop where I want. That's what freedom is all about. I'm going to shop where I want. If I feel like buying something American, I will. And you know what? I just might do it. Just because on February 20th, I'm going to go out and look for everything American and buy it. Much like when these climate change people shut off all the lights the one day, Light Day or whatever it's called. They shut them all off. I turn them all on. I'm nuts, right? Okay. I can handle it. That's fine. Okay, so as we wind this show down today, we have a city council meeting next Tuesday. So that means on Monday, we'll be doing the city council agenda review with Dave Wheeler. He should be in the studio. Hopefully he is, if he can make it. So we'll see what your council is doing with your money this time. But you've got to be tuned in to be tuned in. That's what they say. My apologies to my radio listeners because you look at the weather out here, we got about 4 inches, 5 inches of snow on the ground. I wasn't going anywhere. No. It isn't worth it. When I can do the show right from here, you'll have to be happy with the video. Sorry about that. My apologies. And of course, last but not least, the big game tonight, USA versus the 51st state. Remember when I got in big trouble for saying that? Oh, I got hammered for that. Calling Canada the 51st state. They're battling it out for hockey dominance. This is it tonight with the upstart Canada beating the USA. Are they going to beat the USA? Well, Canadians are hoping so. And of course, Americans aren't. And they're playing in Boston, Massachusetts. So it's going to be an interesting start to this game when the Boston fans get going and start booing the Canadian national anthem. I think they're going to do it. I know they didn't for Finland and Canada because who cares? But this one, where they were booing the U.S. national anthem, I think they're going to get some of it back. It's going to be a slobber knocker. So if there's a game you want to watch, and I haven't watched any of them, this is it. Tonight at 8, Boston, Massachusetts. All scores are settled. This one I might give a watch to. Now, whoever wins gets the 49th parallel, right? All Canadians will think so. If they win, they're gonna think they won the war. It kind of reminds me, going back to 1968. Many of you are old enough to remember when the Czechs beat the Russians in hockey, international hockey, and the Russians immediately invaded Czechoslovakia. And they ousted Alexander Dubček and took over. All over a hockey game. Well, not really. But winning that game didn't help the Czechs any, I'll tell you that. They should have let Russia win. Tonight at 8, don't miss it. My name is Paul K. Lemire. This has been Your City, Your Voice. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. It's been a treat. And if you don't like what I said, leave a comment. Tell me you don't like it. Wheels and 881 Slick and Iceman and Penny Brookify, they always leave comments. They tell me what they think. Leave a comment. Tell me what you think. And I'll say it on the air. I'll tell you to talk about your comment on air if you do leave one. Give us a like. Smash the subscribe button. I think there's 106 subscribers now. The more we get, the more it filters through YouTube. The more people see it from town, well, from all over the place, but from town before, and the more that we can get involved in this election process and the municipal elections and everything else. Have a great day, everybody. Get out there and shovel the snow. God bless you all. This has been Your City, Your Voice, coming to you live from the studios of Video Sign Incorporated, usually from the studios of 4680Q. I'll see you tomorrow with Finally Friday, live at noon from the studio if I can get in. Have a great day. Take care.